Today is an important day. I've got to drive 4.5 hours to Portchester to interview a son and a mother on a truly inspirational story. So, I need to get packed up here, get some fuel in the car, and I'll see you in 4.5 hours. Cheers. So we're here with JLuz and Caleb.
Hi.
My mentees from Revive, and they're going to tell us their story on how they got started and why they wanted to start with property and how they got into it. So hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hiya. Tell us, let's start right from the beginning.
So the story really was from the olden days when I used to watch Homes Under the Hammer.
Oh, yes.
And my first property flip was in West Drayton. It was 210k, and we kept hold of it for a few years, did some renovation. It was one of those where, you know, heavy chain smoker, just covered with soot, layers and layers of wallpaper. And then we sold it for over 377 later on. But I knew that there's profit to be made in property, but we've made some mistakes along the way. But one of the best things we've done is when the house next door to us came up for sale, we put Caleb and his sister Emma.
Yes, we've been living in it for coming up to 5 years now. We put on the down payment on the house thanks to
Bank of Mum and Dad.
Bank of Mum and Dad. And done some slight renovations, improvements, put double glazing on windows, upgraded doors to increase the value of the house, and now looking to sell it later this year.
Fantastic. Can I ask a small favour from you? Unfortunately, 95% of people don't understand the power of pushing that like and subscribe button. What that does is push content like this out to people like yourselves that maybe are just starting or already have started in property. It could potentially save you or them thousands of pounds in the future. And it also helps us create more quality content for you. So before you forget, push the like and subscribe button now before we continue. You haven't pushed it yet, have you? Before the phone rings and you get distracted, push it now. Thanks. So you've got that strategy.
Yes.
And what made you decide to go with rent-to-rent? Or was it rent-to-rent that you decided?
Yes, so we already have rental property, but we wanted to make sure that we got the cash flow, because what I found was I wasn't getting the cash flow while I was trying to renovate our rental property. And so we attended a course from a large education group, but we both felt it didn't really give us the tutor group that we needed that was a lot more immediate. You know, we started looking for something that will give us a more personalised one. That's when we found you.
So how did it feel when you were trying to go out looking for properties when you didn't quite have that one-on-one support?
We were full of questions and they never got answered, and we were trying to solve it ourselves.
Yes, we wasn't sure what we were looking for in the house, what qualities that we needed that would help make a good rent-to-rent, and what target audiences we were looking for. And Steve really solved most of our problems.
Yeah. And we also valued your tutorial as well, because a lot of the solutions always asked for other people to help you, which meant that it constantly eroded the profits. But, you know, having you as our guide, it gives us a lot more grounded plan really on how to do it and be more sufficient.
Right, great. I remember that at the time you've always been very busy, and I was thinking, how are you going to find time to take on rent-to-rent, but you've managed to find estate agents and take on the rent-to-rent while being busy at the same time. How was that for you?
It was expensive. We had to rely on deal sourcers, and Caleb, your situation at work made it difficult.
Yes. I found myself coming here after work or before work on some days just to get the property ready and to sort out broadband and stuff. It's quite stressful at times, which I wasn't expecting, to be honest.
Don't forget the weekend and the sofa as well.
It had been a long time since I last moved house, so moving sofas and sourcing furniture from second-hand sources.
Like Marketplace or things like
Marketplace.
that.
Charity shops, just to keep costs down, because buying brand new is like really expensive, and just nullify any chance of us making profits.
That's great. So you were time poor in some areas where you knew you had to leverage your time and get someone else in to do that for you, and in other areas that you knew how to source these cheaper furnishings to save yourself some money. Yes, it's a fantastic house. And what is your avatar? Who you're focusing your audience on?
Initially, we wanted it to be close to the NHS. We did have a few possible names from consultants that are coming from abroad, and they need a short-term accommodation because they wouldn't be allowed AST, not having been in the country for a while. But I've also approached the local estate agent in the area to see if anybody's in need of housing. And fair enough, he found a family with 2 young children. They're building a house and they need a temporary accommodation for a couple of months. And so we had to quickly change our audience. And they were delighted because the school is just around the corner and the house they're building is also just around the corner. So the 2-month stay ended up 4 months as well.
This is what I love, because you are not just relying on the usual OTAs, the platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com. You've actually gone out there and actively looked for other sources of guests, and you're focusing on having a slightly longer term periods. That obviously that's going to cut down on your expenses and your outlay as well.
Yes. Some of the bookings that we've had as well before we had the longer term guests were from contractors as well, and they are the ones that we'd like to attract as well, because it can get expensive for them to stay